Alright, so here is Macedon. That is the Macedon from Rome Total War Alexander. This guy is the General Alexander. I tried to make him look like in the movie, like Colin Farrell. Kinda looks like him, with that armor and the helmet with the lion's head on it. And the horse is black. You can't have just the general have his own separate horse, so they're all riding Bucephalus. There's a shot of them. This unit is the Royal Squadron. It's a general's bodyguard unit, but it has double the amount of horses in it. So it's just a massive general's bodyguard, double hit points for each cav unit, and fast moving. So that is one huge difference between the Macedonian faction in vanilla and the one in Rome Total War Alexander. There's the riders, the companions. So you can get the option of having the Royal Squadron, or you can just take a regular companion cavalry unit. The companion cav unit has the same skin as the Royal Squadron, since they're also companions. But the stats are exactly the same as in vanilla if you just take a companion cavalry unit. This is on huge scale. So then you have this cavalry unit. These are Thessalian cavalry, and their job in Alexander's army was to guard the left flank. That's usually where they were put, but they were just as good, just as elite as the companions were, so I gave them the exact same stats. So this unit is exactly the same as a companion cavalry unit, just looks different. So for people that care about historical accuracy, you can take some companions, you can take some Thessalians, and they're going to have the exact same stats, exact cost, everything. They just look different. Their armor, the Thessalians were armed and armored in the same fashion as the companions were. They wore the same helmet, that Boshin style cavalry helmet. One thing they were known for, though, is a purple cloak, which looked like wings when they were in a fast charge. But yeah, it doesn't hurt anything to have this unit in the game, just for the look of it. And this is in Rome Total War Alexander, they're called Prodromoi. They were the light horses. But they're pretty much the same as the light lancers in vanilla Rome. So it's a fast-moving cav with a nice charge for a light cav unit. Same exact stats. And these are the standard pikemen. The officer there, the officer has the blue helmet and shield. People like to have meat shield units. A lot of times when people play, they'll take a phalanx pikeman. These have the same exact stats as the phalanx pikemen do. They just look better. And also one thing I changed is I added 16 men to each pike phalanx unit in the game, because in real life they used to make a formation that was 16 men wide and 16 men deep. Yep, that's 16 men wide right there. And if you count the length of it, it's also 16 men deep, for a total of 256 pikemen. That's how many pikemen served in a Macedonian phalanx, and that's how many I'm going to have in my mod. And then of course you got the officers, but Otherwise, it has the same stats as the Phalanx Pikemen in Vanilla Rome. And this is the Elite Royal Pikeman unit. I just reskinned them and renamed them Veteran Silver Shields, because as is portrayed in the movie Alexander, the Oliver Stone movie, his best soldiers were the old men, the Silver Shields. A lot of them were like 50, 60 years old with gray beards, and they were pretty badass. They were able to win battles single-handed almost. There was one battle, I can't remember the name of it, but they were fighting for a guy named Eumenes. That's after Alexander was killed, and supposedly they charged the Antigonid battle lines and just started slaughtering everybody, and the soldiers, Antigonid soldiers, just surrendered. They were never actually defeated in battle. The only time they were able to subdue them was by capturing their families and their money, and that got them to surrender. And then Antigonus killed Eumenes and broke them up by having them settle different lands far apart from each other. But so now the Royal Pikemen, as the best soldiers in the Macedonian faction, are just going to look like the Silver Shields, but their stats are exactly the same. I did not buff their stats at all. So this is a unit from Rome Total War Alexander. It's the only unit in any of the 3 expansions that is fights with the spear and also throws javelins. I don't think there's any other unit that does that I know of, that I can think of, in any of the 3 expansions of Rome Total War. These guys were elites in Alexander's army. They were, I think they were called foot companions also. They kind of were like, would fill the gap between the phalanx and Alexander's companion cavalry on the right side. They were made up of some the best athletes in Macedonia. Some of them had competed in the Olympics, and they were very tough soldiers. In the movie Alexander, when Alexander breaks the Persian battle line at the Battle of Gaugamela, you see these guys charging on foot, just sprinting. What? Sweetie, go lay down. Relax. We'll go outside in a minute. My dog. One of my dogs. I forgot what I was saying, but this unit can run. I gave them the fast moving trait, so these guys, even though they're a heavy infantry unit, they're going to be able to run as fast as any of the skirmishers in the game. So they can run fast, they can throw javelins, fight with spears. Another thing I did for them is I gave them the same fatigue, I guess you could call it, the same mental ability as the Spartans have. Like they're gonna be as tough, they're gonna hold out fighting as long as the Spartans do in vanilla, and also they'll have the same recovery time, like recovering from being tired. So this unit is going to be more historically accurate, like they were in real life. They're going to be made up of some really fast-moving, athletic soldiers. And I did one more thing for them. I gave them the shield wall ability from Rome Total War Barbarian Invasion, because that's one good thing about the REX mod. I was able to give them 16 more men per unit because of the mod changes that Nakal and Panone, I don't know how to pronounce that other guy's name, Panone, the guy that's really been working on improving the game. But let me see, I can start this. You can see them form up into a shield wall. This is going to make them a much tougher unit also. So these guys are going to, kind of like in Rome 2, where they in Rome 2 they can form a hoplite phalanx. The foot companions can, so they can form up into this shield wall formation. They can throw their javelins from there. They're going to be able to run as fast as any other skirmishers. They're going to have the fast recovery time. That's going to make them a much tougher unit, and maybe people will actually take some of these guys and not just spam the Royal Pikemen like they normally would, just because it's more historical to have these guys guarding the flanks of the pike phalanx, because that's what they did in real life. So this is a skirmisher unit, javelin unit, the Agrianian skirmishers from Rome Total War Alexander. The only change I made to this unit is I gave them more men. I think they only have 160 on huge scale in the vanilla Rome Total War Alexander, and in my mod they're going to have 200, which is going to make them a little bit tougher. The Agrianians were basically a barbarian tribe that lived near Macedon, and they ended up fighting for the Macedonians, for Alexander. They fought with axes as their primary weapon, and they were pretty good at fighting over rough terrain. And they usually have their helmets painted blue whenever you see pictures of them online, so I gave them blue helmets also. Cretan archers, they're the same as in vanilla. Macedon had them in vanilla and also in the Macedon from Rome Total War Alexander. Same exact stats. And this is a unit from Rome Total War Alexander from the Dahe faction. I'm combining in this mod all of the best factions from the 3 expansions into one, so they can fight each other. And one of the factions I'm not including is the Dahe faction, because it's kind of a weak barbarian faction. But I'm going to bring in some of the units from that faction and give them to the other Rome Total War Alexander factions, so they will be represented. And this unit is called Tribal Slingers in Rome Total War Alexander. I just renamed them Thracian Slingers because Alexander had a lot of Thracian skirmishers in his army. If you watch the movie, you'll see Thracians there throwing rocks and slings and all that kind of shit. So this makes more sense to have them as Thracians and have slingers in Alexander's army. So as of right now, that's everything in the Alexander faction. That's the banner from Rome Total War Alexander that the Macedonian faction has, since in vanilla Rome they have them using the lambda symbol, which is not correct. And this map is a map, it's I think it's from the Battle of Badon Hill is what it's called. This is a barbarian invasion map. If you play Rome Total War Barbarian Invasion, one of the historical battles is the Battle of Badon Hill. And so this map is interesting. There's a river that runs in the middle, but there's no bridge. There's just a shallow crossing here. It's a wide shallow crossing, wider than the shallow crossings normally that you would have in vanilla Rome. And there's like hills on both sides of the river. So I'm thinking if you play a team battle, like you can have armies from the same team on different sides of the river. Like maybe there can be a couple of them on this side and a couple of them on this side going against 2 over there and 2 over there, because the river does not have a bridge, and it's not going to put, one side on one side of the river and the other side on the across from the river. You're going to be both armies are going to be on, both teams are going to be, if you fight a 4-on-4, are going to be on different sides of the river. So that adds a little strategy of where you deploy. And there's high ground and forest on both sides. So it's an interesting map. So I figure I'm combining factions from both, from all the expansions. So why not the historical battle maps and some custom maps. In my last video that I put out, I showed the Egyptian pyramids map. So it's going to be some lots and lots of new and interesting maps in my mod.